Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Douglas Vanderhyde, and I have created this brief YouTube video to introduce myself and psychoanalytic psychotherapy to you. Psychoanalytic psychotherapy, besides being a tongue twister, connotes potentially for some a kind of cold or inhuman approach. Nothing could be further from the truth. This fancy term, psychoanalytic psychotherapy, is nothing more than a method. It's a way of listening, which in the hands of a competent therapist can provide lasting results for patients who have symptoms of anxiety, depression, or compulsive thinking. My personal opinion is that there can be no more important task, and here's why. We are all required to recognize and abide by an external reality, a reality of laws, our work schedule, our bills, our social obligations. We are often offered opportunities to play in cyber reality, to watch movies, to be in video games, and there are many of us who would try to escape into kind of a pseudo-reality via alcohol or drugs. But the fact is that we live and we experience that process of living in an internal world, our own psychic reality. This is a very private place, which is uniquely our own for better or worse, and is filled with unknown fears, ongoing everlasting wishes, imagined satisfactions, and crushing frustrations which normally no one, not even ourselves, can fully appreciate or understand. This internal landscape, however, forever intrudes into our lives, no matter how we try to block it out, and can make everyday living a joy or a nightmare. It is this internal experience that demands recognition and deep understanding. With the discoveries of Sigmund Freud and the generations of psychoanalysts who have followed him, that inner reality was finally rendered understandable and, more importantly, alterable via the experience of psychotherapy. Psychoanalytic investigation and the observation of child play helped us appreciate how much who we are and what we strive to achieve comes from and is rooted in the earliest days of our lives, the loving and hating experience with our parents, siblings, and caretakers. It is as if this is where we get our first Google map, and all future relationships end up being negotiated via this early map. Unfortunately, every map needs to be updated. I can think of the amusing story about the Norwegian sailor who was determined not to marry his Scandinavian blonde mother, or any representative thereof. He traveled the world and fished extensively, eventually settled in Japan and married a very tiny Japanese dark-haired girl. The punchline, of course, is, guess what? He married his mother. So that maladaptive and largely unconscious, unsatisfying solutions to powerful instinctual wishes, which we all have, continue to wreak havoc in our efforts to live stable and satisfying lives. Love relations are soured, business opportunities are botched, and sexual and play capacities limited or curtailed. To my mind, that is why psychotherapy and this process is so important. One more thing I would say, often enough we hear how perhaps it could be a little bit helpful, or perhaps it could offer a little bit of relief, but that is also not true. The fact is that good, competent psychotherapy or psychoanalysis performed by an expert in this field can permanently repair the old wounds. Without an agenda, the analyst and patient listen, reflect, and try to understand about the stuff that doesn't work. The result is a brand new capacity to create, to love, and to engage the world in a meaningful and rewarding way. Thank you for watching.